This is Win News.
Tonight, a man defied accusations he was behind the wheel in a fatal crash in Canberra South. 8-time world champion Caroline Buchanan hospitalised after a car accident. And scrutineering begins ahead of tomorrow's Summer City Cruise. Good evening, I'm Geoff Phillips. Also coming up in this bulletin, the Queen's baton brings a smile to the faces of sick kids at the Centenary Hospital. A Canberra man charged over a fatal crash in the city's south overnight will fight accusations he was behind the wheel. The 21-year-old and his girlfriend allegedly fled the scene, leaving behind another man who was flung from the vehicle and killed.
Dunlop man Kane David Kell was banned from driving only weeks ago. A court order it's alleged he disobeyed with tragic consequences. Michael Hammond, Win News.
8-time cycling world champion Caroline Buchanan has had a rocky start to the new year after a car rollover on a private property outside Canberra on Saturday left her in hospital with serious injuries. The BMX star took to Instagram last night to share the news, posting 2 photos showing her injuries, which include a broken nose, broken sternum and collapsed lungs. Stricter vehicle checks and a heavier police presence are in store for this year's running of the Summernats Car Festival in Canberra. Final preparations were put in place today, ahead of tomorrow's City Cruise, which will see thousands line the main drag.
Before the rubber hits the road, every vehicle must go through scrutineering at Exhibition Park.
The Queen's baton has done a lap of the Centenary Hospital, bringing a smile to sick children. Many have spent months in the wards and won't be discharged in time to see the Commonwealth Games relay when it starts in Canberra later this month.
It's travelled close to 230,000 kilometres around the world and now into the Centenary Hospital Starlight Room.
A woman has been transferred to the Canberra Hospital after being gored by a rhinoceros at Mogo Zoo this afternoon. The zoo has 2 southern white rhinoceros and one of them, Kai, was being given a routine procedure when he gored the 47-year-old zookeeper. The woman suffered a punctured left arm and a possible fracture, but was conscious and breathing throughout the incident. She was given first aid at the scene before being taken to Moruya Hospital in a stable condition and then airlifted to the Canberra Hospital. Just over 50 kilometres south of the ACT, the small township of Michelego is slowly expanding. It's being noticed by residents who are thrilled to see the general store renovated to cater for increasing foot traffic.
It's a small town with a population of just over 560 people, but Michelego, just south of the nation's capital, is expanding as the years go on.
When Win News continues, could chocolate lovers be in for a world without the sweet treat? And summer holiday fun hits the nation's capital. Pardon the pun, but the days are dark for chocolate. Climate change is causing a shortage of a key ingredient, with a new study putting a timeline of 30 years for when the tasty treat will be hard to find.
It's one of the few things in the world we can all agree on. There's nothing better than a cheeky chocky.
Canberra may be a world away from Hawaii, but a touch of the tropical oasis is being brought to the capital through hula lessons. A Canberra-born dance teacher is bringing the cultural dance to the city after years of honing the craft.
An hour-long hula lesson, one way Canberrans can take a vacation without the time off work.
Sport is next after the break. Nick Kyrgios hits the court of the Brisbane International. Jason Behrendorff ruled out of the BBL. And an Aussie legend watches on as junior golfers take over at Royal Canberra. Kyrgios has survived a scare to down fellow Australian Matt Ebden in 3 sets in the second round of the Brisbane International. The 22-year-old was hampered by injury early, forced to call for the trainer due to a knee complaint. He dropped the first set before bouncing back in the second set tiebreak to level the match. Kyrgios will now meet world number 38 Alexander Dolgopolov in the quarterfinals. Some of Australia's best junior golfers have teed off at Royal Canberra for day 2 of the Jack Newton Junior Golf Tour event. The tournament marks the start of a few big weeks at Royal Canberra, which will culminate in the return of the Canberra Ladies Classic in early February.
It's a rare sight at Royal Canberra, but this week more than 100 junior golfers are hitting the fairways as part of the Jack Newton Junior Golf Tour.
Jason Berendorf won't feature for the Perth Scorchers in this season's Big Bash. The Canberra product had been hoping to be back on the field for the BBL after battling a back complaint throughout the Sheffield Shield, but has been unable to overcome the issue. The left-arm quick says he will instead watch on from the sidelines, also planning to put his name forward for the IPL later this year. Canberra tennis star Ros Belodis will be out to continue her stunning run of form on the world stage when she hits the court in 2018. The 58-year-old is one of the world's best players on the seniors tour and says the secret of her success is just playing for fun.
It may look like your average game of suburban tennis, but one of these players is ranked second in the world in their age group.
That is Wednesday Sport. Weather is next with Tanya Dendrinos and a mild day around much of the region.
That's right, Geoff, but things are expected to heat up over the coming days. I'll have the details for you next. Hello again. Daytime temperatures were sitting just below normal in most places today. Michael from Graceful Photography captured a picture-perfect day in Canberra. If you've taken a weather photo you'd like to see up on screen, you can email it through to weather@wintv.com.au. Let's have a look at the details from today. A top of 25 in Sydney and 23 the high for Nowra. Further down the coast, wind gusts reached 39 kilometres an hour at Merimbula. It saw a top of 25 degrees, 23 the high for Batemans Bay and Maruya. Inland to the snowy mountains now, the mercury hit 12 degrees at Thredbo at midday, 13 the eventual high, 17 the top for Perisher. Humidity was sitting above 90% in Gungahlin until 7 this morning, topping out at 27 degrees, 24 the high for Goulburn after a low of 14. Taking a look at the rainfall in the 24 hours to 9 a.m, there were some heavier falls around the south coast, along with that storm activity. Brooman and Badalla each picked up 31 millimetres with 16 into the gauge at Bega. On the satellite, a broad trough of low pressure has passed through northeastern New South Wales, and a high pressure system in the Bight is extending a ridge across the south. On the synoptic, the high is expected to move to the Tasman Sea later tomorrow and Friday, promoting fine weather in most areas. Taking a look at the forecast for the south coast, partly cloudy tomorrow with some patchy fog along the coastal ranges early on, topping out at 23 for Merimbula after a low of 13. Inland to the snowy mountains now, a few clouds about with fog to start and the slight chance of an afternoon shower about the ranges. Jindabyne heading for a top of 26 degrees after a low of 9 overnight. A similar day for the ACT, partly cloudy conditions expected and the slight chance of an afternoon shower about the ranges. Queanbeyan heading for 29 degrees, 30 the forecast top at Yass. For Canberra, partly cloudy tomorrow, a low of 12, heading for a top of 29 degrees throughout the day. And taking a look at Canberra's temperatures for the week ahead, temperatures will be spiking as we head towards the weekend, then beginning to drop back again as the chance of showers creeps back in, so that will be a welcome relief. Geoff.
It certainly will, Tanya. We'll catch you tomorrow. And that is Win News for Wednesday the 3rd of January. To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Canberra Facebook page. I'm Geoff Phillips. Thanks for your company. Until 6 tomorrow, good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.